Hello, this is Jeff Nager with the AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building. We're day one here, August 7th, 2011 at Sturgis, South Dakota. We are looking at a cool modified Harley bike from Iacona Customs. And tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here. It's not a big twin, what is it?
It was an 883 Sportster. I converted to a 1200 with Buell heads and cylinders, and I wanted it to look more like a sport bike racing style, you know, board track look, and I think I got it.
I do think you got it. It's the 21st century edition of a board track racer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say it would be. Yeah, people called it more of a cafe style, but I don't think it's a cafe style. You know, everybody's been saying that, but
no, I agree. It's a board track. Let's start on the front end because we're looking at a Springer, but it's not the standard Springer. Outstanding wheels and brakes. What are we looking at actually?
The front end was built by EC Customs, and I modified it. I lowered it 2 inches, and I had to make new rockers to get the right trail. And all the hand-formed aluminum brackets hold the oil cooler, and the number plate was hand-formed with the headlight and you know, incorporated into it. And I didn't want to really overbrake the bike because the bike really doesn't weigh too much, so I went with a single-piston caliper and the Invader-style rims. I thought I gave it the older look instead of a billet mag, and that was about it.
Well, it certainly has an industrial look. Everything is right out in the open, all the mechanics. It's very pleasing to the eye.
That's what I like, yeah. And the steering damper was also a challenge to get in there to get it to work.
Yeah, you know, it's a retro kind of looking steering damper. It's very cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was from a Suzuki GSXR. I sandblasted it, got it down to the bare, and I brushed it.
Very cool. What controls are you using?
Yeah, ISR controls from LA Chop Rods.
He makes some really nice stuff.
Yes, really cool stuff.
Now, one of the things that I'm looking at, I know took more than a day to do, is your tins. Talk about pulling that together.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. I made forms for the tanks, and they kind of took their own style after a while, and then I came up with the idea for the aluminum backing plates to mount them. And the tail section, actually I used the same form from the gas tank on the tail to get that same shape, to keep everything uniform. And I wanted everything low to follow the line of the backbone. And the seat's adjustable, so I can raise and lower that seat height. And the oil tank was the hardest part.
How come?
Because there wasn't a lot of room to fit it in there. So that was a challenge, and to make the brackets to hold it. And then to know how the oil lines were going to be run and fit around the battery and the coils, because I ran out of a lot of real estate down there. You know, it wasn't really easy.
How long did it take for you to do this build?
8 months. 8 months.
And a lot of time away from the family?
Definitely. I was going to call it the Home Wrecker. But,
I see.
I changed it in the last minute.
So what's it called?
The Challenger.
Gotcha. Talk a little bit about your shop, because you do custom bikes, you also do mild updates, you do service work, you do a little bit of everything, but tell us about the shop. It's
a small shop. I started out in my garage at home, and I just opened the shop about a year ago because it was getting a little too crowded at the house, so I had to stop or rent a small place. And I have a pretty good following already, so it wasn't too bad. The transition went over pretty well. You know, and like you said, anything from an oil change to a full build I'll do, so it's going pretty good.
Those look like some custom exhausts. How long did it take you to pull that together? It's got a nice look.
I did that in about a day. I actually bought the set from Builtwell. It was all different bends you get, and I cut it up and put it back together the way I wanted it. You know, I had a good idea in my head how I wanted it, and that was like one of the first things I did after the oil tank, just to make sure everything cleared and fitting in, and it went rather well. But the heel guard is also that's the heel guard heat shield combination on this side.
Yeah, very nice. Any work that you did on the engine itself?
The engine was bumped up to a 1200 with Buell heads and cylinders, and I rebuilt the whole motor. I took it apart mostly to get it repowder coated and freshened up new bearings and seals and gaskets. So that was a 2-week thing I did. Ripped it apart, sent everything out, got it back, and put it together. I started it up the day before I left, So it was a little nerve-wracking, you know, to make sure it was running right. But I did a good job.
Well, this is a modified. It's in the modified Harley class, and that means that you have to start with a stock frame. So tell us how you got to the hardtail.
The hardtail is from Lead Sleds. I cut the bike in half, and I actually redid the top tubes because I didn't like the style of it. I rounded everything off so it would match the lines of the bike and the round spoke look. And that was about it on the tail. But that was a lot of work to get everything to line up right.
It always is.
Oh, everything's a lot of work, definitely.
All right. Well, it's a beautiful modified Harley. It looks very sanitary. If somebody was looking at this bike and would want to get more information about a bike for themselves or something that they see here, can they get a hold of you on the web, and can they get a hold of you on the phone?
Yes, I have a website, IaconaCustomCycles.com.
And spell that out if you would.
It's IaconaCustomCycles.com.
And your number?
It's 718-633-3399.
All right. Well, there you go. Good luck at the show today. You've got an award-winning bike, and we're looking forward to seeing how well you do.
Oh, thank you very much for that compliment. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm just happy I made it. You know, just to enjoy this whole day here. It's great to be under this tent.
Great.